Okay, moving on to today. Yesterday's in the past. We've got a huge slate today. 5 games, really like them. Feel free to fade if you want, but I think we're going to turn things around officially today. We've got, of course, 5 best bets for this massive Wednesday college basketball slate, folks. We've got at least 15 conference tournaments being played today, and we're going to talk about every single one, obviously, at the end of the video, but we've got our 5 best bets first. And folks, if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily college basketball best bets here on the channel. Looking ahead, we're going to have college basketball best bets for the rest of the college basketball, or really for the next, 3 weeks here. No best bets video on Monday, though, because there's no games. Next Tuesday, there is the CIT, and we will talk about the CIT, I guess, next week. Anyways, let's get on to the best bets. Also, make sure to go check out our NBA predictions later today on the channel. Make sure to go check out our UFC fight, Vittori versus Dolidze predictions on Greedo Plays MMA. That's linked in the description down below. Subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA. Subscribe to this channel, Greedo Plays, as well, as we move on to the first of our 5 best bets, kicking things off in the Mountain West. All right. Yesterday wasn't working with us. Oklahoma State played a dog crap game. I saw TCU get robbed. That was Pitt. TCU just played a bad game as well. Almost came back. Regardless, we're going back to old reliable here, San Jose State. Okay? If nobody got me, San Jose State's got me. They're not losing to Wyoming. They're not. No. Guys, I'm so confident in this thing today, I'm parlaying all 5 of them. Now, I'm still playing the straights too, obviously, but I think straight 5-leg parlay money line here, I don't know, I don't mind it. First leg, San Jose State to beat Wyoming. Again, take them as straights too, don't rely on the parlay, obviously it's like plus 1,300, but I think San Jose State easily beats Wyoming. Now, this does kind of feel like a trap at the same time, but San Jose State has been the much better basketball team all season long. They've got way better scores than the Wyoming Cowboys. That starts with Josh Uche, who's been the guy all year long for them, going down to, obviously, Latrell Davis, who's been a big-time player all season, but was relegated to a bench role in their last matchup against the Fresno State Bulldogs. Latrell Davis, who's been huge all year long, only 3 points in that game over 23 minutes. Again, I've always made the case that Latrell Davis is the best player on San Jose State. He should be getting more minutes. That end of the season wasn't ideal for the sophomore out of the UK. But regardless, if Latrell Davis isn't scoring, that means Josh Uche scoring, Donovan Yap scoring like he scored 30 in the Fresno State game. Will McClendon was the supposed leader of this team in the offseason, at least we thought, and their center, Robert Vajola, hasn't been bad either. San Jose State should put belt to ass to Wyoming. We're starting off the day at 11 o'clock with this game. I feel very confident about it. Trust me, and this is what I've been looking forward to this part of the year, because Mountain West, Big Ten, Big West, those are the 3 conferences I watch the most. So, partially because they're all on the West Coast, but we really get to lock in now and, get the games we've been waiting for all year long. And trust me, I've been waiting for the Big West tournament all year. So we'll get to that. The final best bet is with the Big West tonight. But yeah, San Jose State should beat up on Wyoming. The 2 matchups that we saw between both these squads this year, first one in San Jose, the Spartans won by 9. Second one in Laramie, Wyoming, again, won by San Jose State by 9 points. The Spartans have the all-around better team. Wyoming has 1 player and 1 player only. It's Obi Ajibam. He's good. But other than Obi, there's nobody else on Wyoming. Jordan Nesbitt can kind of ball, but it's just Obi, man. Obi averages 18 points a game, and that's great. San Jose State's got the all-around better team. Uche, Davis, Vajola, Yap, McClendon. The better players are playing on the San Jose State Spartans. And sure, have they been lighting it up this season? No, they haven't. But, hey, they do own a win over New Mexico in the regular season. They finished the regular season winning that game against Fresno, who, has been caught in the midst of a gambling scandal right now, but whatever. Wyoming's lost 4 in a row after beating the Air Force. They lost to San Jose, Nevada, San Diego State, and the Gamblers over at Fresno State. They lost to a team that had players actively betting their unders over in Fresno. Crazy. Give me the San Jose State Spartans. This should be one-way domination. I don't know why the line's even at this. This game should not be close. I get it in other scenarios, right? In the ACC, we saw right yesterday, in the Big 12, Cincinnati, beats Oklahoma State, whatever, right? after losing the first matchup just a couple days ago. Now, San Jose State's going to beat this team 3 times. This is not difficult for the Spartans to beat Wyoming 3 times. Trust me, the Cowboys are not good. San Jose State's going to beat them in the neutral site, obviously, in Las Vegas. Much closer trip for the Spartans than it is the Cowboys. Not like that's going to matter too much. But we've got San Jose State to win this matinee game in Las Vegas, Nevada, kicking off the Mountain West tournament with a victory, obviously, eliminating Wyoming. Give me Josh Uche, Latrell Davis, and the San Jose State Spartans to win this first round matchup against the Wyoming Cowboys. Very quickly, let's talk about the Mountain West tournament. We've got a lot to go over today. I will talk about this in very quickly. Today we get San Jose State, Wyoming. San Jose State's going to win that game. Tough matchup against New Mexico tomorrow, obviously, but the Spartans have beat the Lobos before this year. Nevada, Fresno State. Again, Fresno State's a bunch of gamblers. Nevada's winning that game. UNLV. And by the way, I will never forget, we had Fresno State the day that the gambling scandal got broken on ESPN. I got the notification on my phone as I was watching the Fresno game. I think they're playing Wyoming. Unbelievable. UNLV Air Force, that's a beatdown. Who's winning the Mountain West? I'd be very surprised if it's not New Mexico. But again, New Mexico, San Diego State, Utah State all feel like automatics to get into the tournament at this point. We could see potentially Boise State or Colorado State or hell, even a UNLV look to steal a bid. Even Nevada, potentially. Nevada's not winning shit. But those teams could steal a bid and obviously win the championship in the Mountain West. But I expect a New Mexico-Utah State championship game with obviously the Lobos winning. Let's go on now to our second best bet of the video, and we move to the Southeastern Conference. Vanderbilt versus Texas. Another one of these matchups, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't see how Vandy doesn't win this game. Now, I think this line has moved slightly since I made this graphic a couple hours ago. I think it's -2.5 now for Vandy. That's fine. That's playable. Again, it's still, same thing stands with our 5-leg moneyline parlay. Give me Vandy easy against Texas. We've seen this matchup in the regular season, and Vanderbilt has beaten this team. Sure, they only played once, and they played in Nashville, but Vanderbilt shot the ball lights out in that game. Texas did have a strong start, but Vandy kept on scratching and clawing their way back into that basketball game, and obviously the Commodores won it. I think they play a good stylistic game against Texas, and Texas again is just, it kind of feels like a one-man army for the most part. Obviously we're talking about Trey Johnson. They've got some other guys who can ball obviously, but Johnson is their main guy, and if Trey Johnson isn't completely on, I don't really trust this team to play all that well. You look back at that first Texas-Vandy matchup, Trey Johnson with 15 points. He did lead their team in scoring, which goes to show something, but I'm not all that impressed with the Longhorns. They've lost 4 out of 5 coming into the SEC tournament, losing to South Carolina on the road, losing to Arkansas on the road, Georgia at home, going to Mississippi State and beating the Mississippi State Bulldogs because that team is so fraudulent. And then losing their last game to Oklahoma. If I'm not mistaken, Johnson had a horrible game. I remember seeing that on Twitter. He was horrible. He was 0 for 14. Oh, hell no. I mean, given this is likely a bounce back spot, I completely understand, but you gotta think, when you go 0 for 14 from the field, I don't know, man. And this is a team that Texas has to play today in Vandy that is going to beat the crap out of you if you are not able to respond right away. Because Vandy's going to keep on shooting. They have so many shooters on this team. We talk about Jason Edwards being their best scorer, but Tyler Nickel, man, if this guy can get going from beyond the arc, he is lethal. This dude's a straight shooter. Now, he will have games where he doesn't do anything. I'll be honest with you. The Georgia game, 32 minutes, 6 points. But when he's on, 7 for 10 from the three-point line in the A&M victory by 2 points. The Mizzou win, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. The Alabama game, 5 for 9. This dude is a baller. First caught my attention this year, obviously, in the Charleston Classic, where he was shooting lights out on the Seton Hall game. The guy, again, can go crazy from beyond the arc. And that's just the overall mentality of this Vandy team. They will shoot and they will score lights out. They will score all the time on you. And it's just, I think it's such a stylistically tough game for Texas. I believe Vandy's going to get off to a hot start in this game. I don't think the same thing goes for Texas, and especially with a team who got 7 points out of Trey Johnson, in their last game, and Johnson went 0 for 14 from the field. Again, he could 100% bounce back, but you just got to think, where is, mentality-wise, where are you after such a poor performance? Obviously, again, the SEC tournament is in Nashville. It's a home game for Vanderbilt. I'm not telling you the Commodores are winning the entire thing. They're not. But obviously the SEC is so stacked, right? This is a 12-13 matchup. Vandy and Texas, two very good teams this season. Obviously Vandy's much better. Are playing in the first round of the SEC tournament. Winner plays A&M tomorrow. But yeah, this should be light work for the Vanderbilt Commodores. I don't know how they don't win this basketball game. I get it the first time it was in Tennessee, but This one's in Tennessee as well, so Texas should not stand a chance here on the road, essentially, against Vanderbilt. I get it. The Longhorns will bring fans over for this game because, again, it is win or go home, at least in the SEC tourney, but give me Vandy all day long. They should be able to find a way to win this one. I think they outshoot Texas, and again, I don't think the Longhorns are able to keep up with the offensive onslaught that Vandy's going to put on them. So real quick, let's look at the SEC bracket. Today we get Arkansas, South Carolina. I'll be damned if the Razorbacks don't win that game. Vandy, Texas, it could be Vandy. Mississippi State, LSU. I think LSU has a legitimate chance to win. I really think they do. I'm 50-50 on that game. Georgia, Oklahoma, Georgia. Who wins the SEC? I don't know. It's the best conference. It's the best conference in college basketball. This is the best conference tournament out of the cycle this year, obviously. I think we're probably going to see a Auburn-Bama championship. Maybe Florida. I could see Florida getting in there. It doesn't matter because all these teams are making the tournament anyway, the NCAA tournament. That's kind of what gets rid of the hype a little bit, but obviously these are great matchups that are going to determine seeding, obviously. Auburn's probably going to win, though. I mean, again, coming off of that loss to Bama, I got to think they're fired up and they're probably going to win this entire thing. But we'll see. I'm so excited for the SEC tournament. We'll keep tracking it, obviously, until we get to Selection Sunday. Let's go on now to our third best bet of the video. And we're taking a quick stop in the Patriot League, right? So we got these big conferences starting, obviously, today, but today is also the Patriot League Championship game. Let's head on over to Washington, D.C. for the Navy Midshipmen taking on the American University Eagles. Navy, a 15-18 team, tries to get into the tournament, obviously, with a losing record. I believe the Midshipmen have not been in the tournament since either the 80s or the 90s. They're obviously on a roll right now, and they're going to try to unseat the number 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken, American Golden Eagles. Just the Eagles. They're not golden. Give me American. Give me American to right the wrongs of their last game against Navy. They are 0-2 against this Navy team this year. I completely understand. They've lost both times against the Midshipmen. First game, January 2nd, they go to Annapolis, I think. They go to Navy and lose 81-58. Second time around, played at American, obviously. Navy goes in there and beats them by 8 points. It's not ideal. I just think, again, I've been saying I think American's the best team in the Patriot. They've been playing like the best team in the Patriot. I understand this is the one team that could get them. I just don't think American loses 3 times this season in Navy. And it's not the same point that I was making earlier about how San Jose State and Wyoming, right? Like, I know San Jose State's the better basketball team, right? And hell, even with Vandy and Texas, I know Vandy's better than Texas. This is the case of, I'm pretty sure American's better than Navy. They just didn't play good games against them the first 2 times around. This game means, let's just be honest, this game means a lot more than San Jose State, Wyoming. Because regardless, whoever wins SJSU Wyoming is losing to the Lobos next round. They're not going to the tournament. This one, your season's on the line here. You win, you're going dancing. If not, say hello to the CIT. Or the CAA. Is the CAA or CIT? It's the CAA. Oh, did I say CIT in the beginning? Oh man. Anyways. I'm taking American here. I am. Matt Rogers has been excellent. Rogers has been really good. 17 points a game this season. He's been kind of just mitted in the Patriot League Championship or tournament, I'm not going to lie. I expect him to turn it up today, though. And they've been winning without Rogers playing all that well. They have. I mean, in the game over Lafayette, 17 points out of Greg Jones. Elijah Stevens led the scoring in the Colgate victory. And they've been playing close games, but American just keeps finding ways to win. Sure, again, Navy's good. They're a very hot and cold team, and obviously they're just hot right now, and they're led by Austin Benigini, who's averaging 18 or 19 points a game. Jordan Penick and Aiden Keough are also pretty big contributors to this team, but obviously Benigini's been their guy all season long and in the tournament as well, right? I mean, putting up 30 against BU, putting up 24 against Bucknell on the road, but they gotta go on the road to American University here, obviously, because that's how the Patriot League works. It's not in a neutral site. You gotta go to, college campuses and win. I just don't think they go on the road to American and win the Patriot. I don't think so. So again, this applies to our parlay, obviously. We like AU money line for the parlay, but also as a straight, I don't mind American University -3.5. I definitely think they're going to be able to cover that here. I think it'll be a competitive game, but I think American University just pulls away. I think, again, they're going to right the wrongs of the first 2 times they played Navy this season. I understand, again, the Midshipmen have gotten them. I just don't think they're good enough to do it 3 times. American just feels like the better basketball team. Watching them, they look like the better basketball team. Navy, it's been a very inspired run for them, by the way, in the Patriot League tourney, right? 2 back-to-back road victories over BU and Bucknell to get to this spot. What are the odds again? They beat American for the third time this season, and they win their third straight road game en route to probably having to go into the first four, likely. Yeah, they're a first four team. Yeah, they'd have to win a game to get into the actual tournament. But what are the odds they do that? I don't think so. I think American University wins outright. They likely are a 15 seed. If Navy does win, expect them to be playing in Dayton on Tuesday or Wednesday. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So give me American University. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, give me American University to win this game at home. I think they cover the 3.5 points as well, advancing to the NCAA tournament. To our fourth best bet of the video, let's head on down to the Big Ten. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the USC Trojans. So obviously to Indianapolis, Indiana, to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Rutgers, USC, give me Rutgers. I don't trust USC going to Indiana and going to the Midwest and beating Rutgers. I get it, they're kind of meeting in the middle, obviously, with Rutgers in New Jersey and USC, obviously it's in their name, Southern California. USC's been god-awful down the stretch. They have completely limped their way, or barely gotten their way into the Big Ten tournament. That's apparent. They're the 14 seed in this tourney, Rutgers is the 11. Guys, USC has not put together back-to-back wins in the Big Ten since early January. Now again, you only got to win one game to beat Rutgers here, obviously, but I think the Scarlet Knights are just better. USC, again, since February 11th, where they beat Penn State, they lost to Minnesota, lost to Maryland, lost to Rutgers, lost to Ohio State, lost to Oregon, beat Washington, doesn't count, Washington sucks, and then lost at UCLA. What makes me believe they're going to beat Rutgers here? What makes me believe they're going to beat Dylan Harper, they're going to beat Ace Bailey, and they're going to beat this loaded Rutgers. Well, okay, they're not loaded. They have two players. They're 4 freshmen on the court, and and one senior, Jeremiah Williams. They're not loaded, but two guys who are probably going to be in the top 4, maybe top 3 of the NBA draft. I mean, legitimately, right? And we're probably looking at Flagg, Harper, Bailey. I don't think VJ Edgecombe's a top 3 pick. I don't think. I honestly haven't looked too deep at Illinois, Jacunius, come on, no shot. Harper and Bailey are top 3 picks, I believe. I don't look at the mock drafts until after the season, really, because we're just focused on college ball right now. Anyways, I think Rutgers beats USC. They won the last matchup, obviously, that they played. That game was in the Jersey Mike's Arena in New Jersey, and the Scarlet Knights won by 10 points. Dylan Harper with 25. And yes, Dylan Harper has really come on as the season's gone on. I mean, Ace Bailey was really the guy at the beginning of the season, and obviously Ace Bailey is still producing, but Dylan Harper has really taken over the lead scoring role down the stretch of the season, and that's fine. Again, we expect both Harper and Bailey to have a fun performance in this tournament, and if there was ever a team I want to win the Big Ten, it is Rutgers. I'm not going to lie. For as much as I'd love to see the Hoosiers win it, Indiana's already in the tourney. And trust me, tomorrow they're going to beat Oregon, all right? They're getting their get back. Omar Balo's getting his get back against Nate Biddle, okay? Trust me, it's happening in the 8-9 tomorrow. And then Indiana's going to beat Michigan State again, okay? But anyways, it's not going to happen because Rutgers is going to have to win 5 games. But if they could somehow win this thing and get to the tourney, they'd be NC State. It'd be great. It would probably be even more fun. I mean, sure, there's no DJ Burns here, but my goodness, Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper in the tourney, because they're going to the NBA next season. Let's get something out of this team before, obviously, they kind of just fall off next year. I mean, they've got players, but, and they're a young team, but man, they're not going to be the same without Harper and Bailey, obviously. And hell, even Williams as well, who's a senior. He's been the heart of this team. He's the only senior that really plays on this squad, or at least starts. I don't trust USC. I just don't. They don't score all that well. Desmond Claude, Wesley Yates, I don't know. USC has disappointed me so many times this season. I don't even know how they're here. Honestly, I don't know how they even qualified for this tournament. They won a lot of games early, but just down the stretch, they've been so abysmal. They have better records. Nebraska had to be eliminated for this to happen, which Nebraska, they deserve it. They just do. 5 straight losses. If you can't beat Iowa at your home court to go into the Big Ten tourney, you don't deserve to be here anyway. But, I'd rather watch Nebraska than USC. I'd rather watch Bryce Williams. I think Rutgers gets him. I don't understand the line. I really don't. I just do not get it. Sure, the all-around better team might be USC, but are these guys really going to rise to the occasion? No. Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey are going to rise to the occasion. It's their first huge college basketball game. There's a reason they put them in the night spot. It's what time is this game? 6:30? Sure, it's 9:30 on the East Coast or whatever. There's a reason. Oh, it's 5:30, so 8:30 out there. There's a reason they put them in this spot, though. It's the primetime game on Peacock, but it's the primetime Big Ten game of the day. There's a reason they're in this spot. Give me Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper to rise to the occasion. They're better than USC. Trust me, they've done it before, and they're going to do it again now on a neutral site. Real quickly, let's talk about the Big Ten tournament. Absolutely so pumped for this tourney, obviously. I told you what I think is going to happen here. Indiana's beating Oregon, and they're going to beat Michigan State again. Unfortunately, UCLA is going to beat them again, so UCLA is going to the championship. Don't care what happens here. Actually, Minnesota beats Northwestern. Give me Iowa to upset. Iowa's going to upset Ohio State. Yeah. And then obviously Rutgers here. We'll see what happens tomorrow, obviously, but let's just say Indiana beats Oregon. Wisconsin beats Minnesota. Shout out Dustin Garcia, but it's over. Illinois beats Iowa, obviously. Rutgers beats Purdue. Yeah, screw Purdue. Anyways, Braden Smith, get out of here. Michigan State and Indiana. UCLA versus Wisconsin, UCLA. Maryland versus Illinois, Maryland. Michigan versus Rutgers. Honestly, Michigan's so beatable right now. Rutgers, it's gonna backfire if they lose today, isn't it? It's gonna look bad. Indiana, UCLA. Rutgers, Maryland. I'm sorry, Maryland's gonna have to beat them. Maryland, UCLA. Give me Maryland. Or UCLA. I don't know. That's just a very early look at this tournament. I'm so pumped though. It's such a fun tourney. So, anyways, let's go on to our final best bet of the video. We move now. Nope, not that. To the Big West. We conclude today in the Big West, and obviously we'll cap off the video talking about the rest of the conference tournaments. But anyways, the nightcap at 8:30 tonight, the Cal Poly Mustangs and the UC Davis Aggies. The entire Big West tournament is in Henderson, Nevada. It's basically just Vegas. Cal Poly's a 3.5-point favorite in this game. I expect them to win and cover. Obviously, the money line obviously applies to our parlay, our 5-legger. This is the final one. Hopefully, Cal Poly comes through. They should beat Davis, man. I really don't think this game's going to be all that close. This has all the makings of a blowout. Again, I watched the Big West quite a bit. Cal Poly's catching fire at the absolute right time. There's a reason we've picked Cal Poly pretty much in every spot that we've gotten them in since the Riverside win. I hate that cesspool, and I hope they lose in the first round. The first matchup they play against Cal Poly tomorrow. So that's why, yeah, at the same time, I really hope Cal Poly wins this game because we can get them in UCR tomorrow. I think Cal Poly beats that cesspool, I think. Anyways, Cal Poly's getting hot at the right time. Again, they were the team who had lost, 2 straight years, every single game in the Big West. They finished the year winning 4-5, beating that cesspool in overtime, crazy comeback. Last time ever picking that. No, I did pick Riverside since. But anyways, beating the cesspool, losing at UCSB sucks, but then 3 straight wins, Bakersfield, Fullerton, Long Beach State. I get it, those teams aren't very good, but they're playing with momentum. Davis, absolutely no momentum. This team's atrocious, guys. This team's so bad. They're so horrible. They haven't won a game since, guess what? They beat the cesspool on February 13th. Since then, lost at UC San Diego, lost at home to Bakersfield, lost at home to Northridge, lost at Hawaii. That game was low-key rigged, I'm not going to lie, for Hawaii. But anyways, UC lost that one. Lost against Irvine, lost against UCSD. My goodness, it's loss after loss after loss. Ty Johnson's good. Ty Johnson's a really good basketball player. Ty Johnson, he's a good basketball player. The rest of the team, oh my God, there's nothing going on. If Johnson's not having a crazy night, they're just screwed. And even when Johnson plays really well, he's only at 25% three-point shooter, shoots 38% from the field, you know? Even when he does have big nights, though, this team can't really seem to get it together. I think Cal Poly's just the much better team. We saw this game in the regular season. UCD beat Cal Poly. Okay, they beat him by 11 points at San Luis Obispo. That was just such a different Cal Poly team back then. That's before they got their first win in Big West play, obviously, over the beach in Devon Askew and Long Beach State. Guys, again, tonight we get a cesspool versus a place that smells like a shithole. Oh, no. UC Riverside's not playing today. My mistake. I didn't mean to. I've been waiting to say that all year long because I've been waiting for Davis and Riverside, and I just forgot to pick that game when it came around because I was really waiting for my moment to call, Davis, it smells like cow shit there, and Riverside's just a cesspool in general. Anyways, Cal Poly's going to make sure we don't get that matchup. I love the shooting out of Cal Poly right now, man. They are playing with such confidence. They're scoring lights out. They put up 90 points easily right now. Owen Kuntz, Jared Hyder, Isaac Jesup, that's all you need to know. They play a very small lineup. They're going to play 4 guards on the court at all time, and it should be able to dominate this UC Davis team. It's not like UCD has some crazy big that's going to hurt them. I mean, yes, they've got Tamba, who averages 11 a night, and Nico Rock, who averages 7, I believe, 5. There's no one on this team that's really going to affect Cal Poly. And honestly, like, I don't think any big in this league other than, Bent Leishton and some of the guys, obviously, and UCSD's, entire team in general with Tate Jones. I don't think anyone on this side of the bracket until Cal Poly gets to UCI, I don't think a big's going to affect them, regardless of if it's Davis or Joel Armatrading in UC Riverside. I like Armatrading, but we saw in that last matchup, Armatrading didn't really make a difference. It was already a shootout. So Cal Poly's going to keep shooting on the perimeter. They're going to give UC Davis hell. This is probably one of my favorite picks of the entire night. I like all 5 of these, honestly. Like, I really love this slate today. We're capping things off with Cal Poly beating UC Davis. They should just be able to outscore this team. T.Y. Johnson's not going to be enough. Give me the shooters. Kuntz, Hyder, Jesup. Cal Poly wins in the Big West tournament for the first time in a couple years at the very least. Cal Poly beats UC Davis to move on to the next round. Now, of course, we're going to talk about all the different tournaments, starting things off right in the Big West. So today, I think, again, Poly's going to beat Davis. I feel pretty good about that. Other side of the bracket, UCSB, Bakersfield. UCSB's beating that team. Northridge versus UCSB. Give me Northridge. Poly versus UCR. I'm going to take Poly. We just saw it. Barrington Hargis is great. Give me Cal Poly. UCSD versus Northridge, give me UCSD. UCI versus Poly, give me UCI. And give me UCI to beat UC San Diego. UCSD is going to get in the tournament regardless. So give me a 2-bid Big West. That's what we want. UCI gets into the tournament with the automatic. UC San Diego gets at an at-large. Perfect. That's all we need. 2-bid Big West. All right, A10 starts today. Davidson, Richmond. Give me Davidson. I think they're playing a little bit better right now. Rhode Island, Fordham. Rhode Island. UMass, LaSalle. Don't like either of those teams. I'll take UMass, though. I'll be honest, I'm not too tapped into the A10. It's one of the conferences I don't pay the most attention to, even though, obviously, I try my best with all the conferences. This is one that they kind of just, slips through, I'm going to be honest. I do pay attention some. Like, obviously, we've watched a lot of St. Louis games this year. We've picked VCU. We've seen Loyola Chicago quite a bit. I've been keeping track of George Mason, obviously, as a potential at-large. I'd expect a VCU-George Mason championship game. Again, we can get deeper into this, obviously, as we go on with the tournament. I think St. Louis could potentially get Loyola Chicago in the quarters. St. Louis is an odd team, obviously, with Jimerson and those guys. They play their guys 40 minutes a night. They could catch someone. Watch out for George Washington. I think they could give George Mason a tough game if they're playing at their best. St. Joseph's and their mascot that never stops, I think could probably beat Dayton. He never stops flapping his wings. I think they could definitely beat Dayton. But I'm going to take VCU to win this entire thing. I think they beat George Mason. I think, again, George Mason's going to be able to give them a fight, but I just think the VCU Rams are the best team in the conference. So give me the VCU Rams to win the A10. I'm going to stop doing the bird thing like St. Joseph's. ACC. Yesterday, Notre Dame didn't rob Pittsburgh. The refs robbed Pittsburgh. It's unbelievable call at the end of the game, man. Unbelievable. Cal beat VTech in double overtime. Shout out to them. And Syracuse beat Florida State. Surprising. Not surprised, though, because Florida State sucks. Georgia Tech, Virginia. Give me Georgia Tech. They are better than Virginia. North Carolina, Notre Dame. All right. Hey, the championship hopes they're gonna stay. I guess the NCAA hopes for UNC is gonna remain one more day. They're gonna beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame shouldn't even be there. Pitt might have given North Carolina a run, even though Pitt was pretty bad yesterday too. I understand. Stanford, Cal. Cal's coming off a double overtime game. Nothing screams ACC more, though, than Stanford and Cal, right? Give me Stanford and Maxime Reynaud. SMU, Syracuse. SMU's going to beat up on that team. I still think it's a Louisville, probably Duke championship game. I think Louisville might get Duke, I'll be honest with you. But obviously the second round, that's how I have it. We've got a lot to go over still. American Conference. Only one game today. Not much to talk about. Rice, Charlotte. They're both horrible. They both are. Charlotte can give you a game, though. Honestly, we saw FIU beat Western Kentucky yesterday. Big upset in the CUSA. Why not? Give me Charlotte to beat Rice. It doesn't matter. FAU's beating both of them. SWAC. Love the SWAC. Guys, I keep telling you, Florida A&M. Big performance yesterday against Prairie View, winning that one. Grambling beat Alabama A&M. Surprise to nobody. Watch out for Florida A&M. They're beating Jackson State today. They're playing tomorrow, right? I'm pretty sure they're playing tomorrow. No, they are playing today. Give me Florida A&M. Didn't make the best bets because, again, I really like the 5 we have today. But yes, it's going to be Florida A&M. I will be locked into their game against likely Bethune-Cookman. I think they'll get that rematch. And I think, obviously, Florida A&M is going to win that. I still think Florida A&M is going to the championship. Texas Southern, Alabama State, who knows? Southern, Grambling, Southern. It'll be Florida A&M and Southern still in the championship game. I hope the Rattlers can get it. Big 12. We're down now to the second round. Colorado beat TCU. TCU sucks. Never again. Oklahoma State sucks. Never again. Utah sucks. Never again. Shout out to K-State, beating Arizona State. I'm done with the Big 12 right now. That's why you didn't see it today. I'll stay away from the time being. We went 0-3 in the Big 12 yesterday. Yeah, it was abysmal. I don't know what to say. West Virginia is going to beat up on Colorado. Colorado's not doing. Jamavowski and those guys are not doing it 2 nights in a row. Iowa State versus Cincy. Again, Jizzle James and Dan Skillings and those guys. No, they're not doing it again. Iowa State's bad, but they're not that bad. Baylor, K-State. I think Baylor's kind of fraudulent. But I think they still beat K-State. I think K-State's got a chance, though. UCF, Kansas. Kansas is bad. They're not UCF bad. I expect all the higher seeds to move on. We'll see what happens. I still think it's probably Houston in the championship winning it, but we'll see. Big East. Big East starts today. Excited for this thing. Really am. Providence, Butler. Give me Providence. Georgetown, DePaul. Man, if Georgetown loses 3 times to DePaul, oh, man. I hate to say this, DePaul actually has a chance to win tonight. I think Georgetown's got it, but I don't know. With their injuries, obviously, I'm just hoping the Hoyas can pull that one out. It's embarrassing if they can't. Because I think the Hoyas, if they can get hot at the right time, they can make a run. Well, it starts now. You got to beat DePaul today. Nova, Seton Hall, Nova. Obviously, people are expecting, oh, Nova's going to make their run. They're going to steal a bit. It's not happening. They're not beating UConn, guys. So, anyways, I still have a UConn St. John's championship. I think Pitino's going to have those guys playing. Give me St. John's doing the entire thing. And they're at home in the entire tournament, so give me St. John's. The Southland, it's the championship game today. McNeese and Lamar. Lamar played a tight one against Nichols. McNeese is just, put belt to ass to Northwestern State. Are we surprised? No. Have we known that McNeese is the best team in the Southland? Yes. Nothing changes. McNeese wins. Shout out to Lamar for getting here, but this game's not going to be close. MEAC. Yes, the MEAC starts today. Everyone gets invited. Norfolk State's going to beat Maryland Eastern Shore by at least 35. Again, shout out Brian Moore and the guys. I'm telling you guys, Norfolk State, they get it as a 15. They're going to give a 2 seed a lot of trouble. Maybe they're like a Florida Gulf Coast type thing. They might beat a number 2 seed. I'm just saying. Watch out for them. Howard, Morgan State. Morgan State. Howard's horrible. These games are all they all in Virginia? Oh, they are. Anyways, give me Morgan State to beat Howard. South Carolina State, Coppin State. Still don't know how to say it, I'll be honest. Give me South Carolina State, Delaware State, NC Central, Delaware State. Norfolk State's winning the entire thing. Don't really need to talk about it anymore. MAAC, we are down to 8. Marist does not play today, so that's why they're not in the video. If Marist was playing today, they're an auto fade. We're taking Mount St. Mary's tomorrow. Anyways, Quinnipiac versus Rider. Give me Quinnipiac. Shout out to Rider, though. Big time performance yesterday. They were down by 13 with 8 minutes to go. They ended up winning the game in regulation. Crazy stuff. Yeah, what a game. There's only one we won yesterday, so hey, shout out to the Bronx. And the other game today, Merrimack Sacred Heart. Merrimack will win. I think Mount St. Mary's Quinnipiac championship game still, though. Yes, Iona might be able to give Quinnipiac trouble. We'll see. But those are the picks for today. CUSA, Western Kentucky, you suck at basketball. My God. 0 for 15 to start the game from three-point land, and you finally hit one when you down by 6 with 8 seconds to go. Oh, God. Embarrassing. UTEP beat Sam Houston. Whatever. Liberty's going to clean them up. Jacksonville State gets FIU. Easy. Kennesaw, New Mexico State, probably New Mexico State. Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, probably Middle Tennessee. Liberty's winning the entire thing. It's another one. Like, we've just known Liberty's winning this entire thing for a while, and nothing really changes now. To the WAC. Yeah, the WAC the WAC continues today. Kind of forgot Utah Tech, Southern Utah happened yesterday. It's fine. Yeah, it's the 1-9, the 2-7 today. Utah Valley, Utah Tech, Utah Valley's winning, and then Grand Canyon's beating UT Arlington. Nothing changes. It's still a Utah Valley Grand Canyon championship for me, and Grand Canyon will probably win. Watch out for Seattle University, but give me Grand Canyon. Big Sky championship today, Northern Colorado, Montana, exactly like we predicted. No surprises really in the Final Four of this bracket, and no surprise in the championship game. Northern Colorado is better than Montana. Yes, Montana can get off to hot starts and cold starts. Again, like we saw in their game a couple days ago at this point, against Eastern Washington in Missoula. Yes, they're Missoula. They got off to a really cool start in that game. They got off to a really hot start against Idaho. Doesn't matter. Northern Colorado is the better basketball team. They don't even play competitive games. They beat Montana State by 27. It's just, no, they're much better than the Grizzlies. Give me Northern Colorado to get that one done and win the Big Sky today and punch their ticket into the NCAA tournament. All right, that'll do it for our college basketball best bets here for this loaded Wednesday, March 12th slate. If you haven't not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back later today for our NBA predictions and tomorrow as well for more daily college basketball best bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.